What I'll be talking about today is the effectiveness of technology spin-offs in government science projects. Before I start with what exactly spin-off is, I'd like to mention a very small thing. The first time when I heard the term spin-off, what came into my mind was a very bright red spinning top, which when it starts spinning around, it's actually one individual spinning top which is spinning, but what it does is it creates various energy fields all around. And if we look at it, these energy fields are totally separate, not necessarily a part of that spinning top, but small energy bodies in themselves. In the same way, we can describe spin-off as a technology or an offshoot technology or a byproduct of a main principal technology which comes into existence by a process which we can say or call technology transfer. Now, this technology transfer is a process by which information is passed from a technology which is being developed for one specific field into an entirely different field by where it can be further modified and commercialized and used for a larger consumer base. Some government agencies which are handling science projects are National Aeronautics and Space Administration, National Institute of Health, National Science Foundation, Department of Energy, and actually many more, but due to space constraint I am not putting them all here. For my study specifically, I have tried to concentrate on NASA. The reason behind is that NASA is into space and exploration, and from time immemorial, everyone has been somehow or the other fascinated by space. In any religion, any race, any culture we go, we'll find some or the other mention of space. I think from the ancient times, from Icarus and Daedalus, I'm not sure I'm pronouncing the names right, but to present day Avatar, we are all in some way or the other interested and somehow I'll say in a way obsessed with space. So that's the reason I'm concentrating on NASA. It was established in 1958 under the National Aeronautics and Space Act. In 1962, Industrial Application Program was imposed on it, which created the way for present-day Innovative Partnership Program. Now, under this IPP, NASA has been made to share its technologies with other independent organizations for the purpose of developing and creating spin-offs. So this is basically the various acts which were imposed on NASA. NASA spin-offs can be divided into three parts. One are direct spin-offs. These are spin-offs which are they are totally new products which are resulting from NASA technology. The second is products which are already there in the market but which benefit from NASA technologies. And the third, well, I'm putting them into spin-offs, I'm not very sure, but still they are products which are not anyhow related to NASA. They were not created by NASA or specifically for NASA, but these products got a lot of benefit from their connection with NASA. These products were somehow or the other connected in public mind with NASA, and they leveraged a lot of benefit because of that. Direct spin-offs. Now, direct spin-offs, if we take it in field of medicine, there are computerized dynamic posturography or CDP. This is a process which is developed to identify and treat balance disorders in the astronauts. As of right now, this process is used to treat to identify and treat balance disorders. Then the other one is voice-controlled wheelchairs. It was again developed using NASA's teleoperator and robotics technology, and it's a boon And a very important technology, maybe not so important for most of us, but for a person who's a paraplegic or severely handicapped person, this is a life-changing technology. Then there is ocular screening, NASA's image processing technology. This is used to detect and track and monitor eye problems. Initially it was used to detect problems only in very small children. Now this has again been evolved, and it's used for treating retinal movements for people of all ages. Then there is digital imaging breast biopsy system, under which no surgical procedure is required. Then we go to architecture. There is fabric structure. For its Apollo's program space suit, NASA required a very lightweight, durable material which was also moisture repelling. This fabric structure was created. Now this is at present day it's also used for covering huge malls, stadiums. So it ends up in reducing the cost of lighting and cooling. The other one which is used is flat cable. NASA developed this extremely thin wires which are known as flat conductor cable. It is now used by designers and builders in cables, sheathing, etc. Some people also say that the entire process of miniaturization was started by NASA's initiative to develop small and miniature parts for everything. So even the development of laptop is credited to that. Initially, starting from a huge computer, we have now iPads. So this entire process. Now in manufacturing, there are manufacturing benefits from new welding technology, micro lasers, magnetic liquids. Then there is friction stir welding, which is used in offshore drilling, in brick piping, armor plating. Then internal combustion engines. This was used by using NASA's carbon piston technology, much lighter in weight and higher improved thermal production.